This is a Fangirls Going Rogue priority transmission.
All teams, give it everything you got!
It's time to fangirl flail with Fangirls Going Rogue.
Count me in. I don't think there's anything more important in the Star Wars universe than the fans.
News, discussion, and commentary from the female point of view.
You call this a diplomatic solution?
No, I call it aggressive negotiations.
With your hosts, Teresa Delgado, Trisha Barr, and Sarah Woloski.
Boy, am I glad to hear your voice.
Strap in, because this is where the fun begins.
I like the sound of that.
Hey, Yub Cubs, and welcome to a very special priority transmission of Fangirls Going Rogue. I am Teresa Delgado, one of your co-hosts, and with me today is Sarah Woloski from Skywalking Through Neverland. Sarah!
Hey, I'm super excited to share this priority transmission with everyone.
Me too. Unfortunately, Trisha could not be here with us today, but she's here with us in spirit. And we are so excited to bring you this interview that we did with Ashley Eckstein, who, as you all know, is the voice of Ahsoka Tano and the creator of HerUniverse.
Woohoo! All the clothes we wear.
All the clothes we wear. Basically, our entire closet.
If it wasn't for her, we'd be... No, I'm just kidding.
What would we be? In regular, boring clothes.
Yes, regular, boring clothes.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoy this interview with Ashley. And if you have any questions or comments about anything you hear in this interview, be sure to reach out to us on our social media at FG Going Rogue on Instagram and Twitter, and we will get back to you. So sit back, relax, and enjoy our conversation with Ashley Eckstein. Well, welcome, Ashley, to Fangirls Going Rogue, to our slumber party. How are you?
Good. How are you ladies doing?
We are excited to see you today and to have you on tonight, like at our slumber party. And we wanted to invite you on because you're not only the voice of Ahsoka Tano in Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, but also you own HerUniverse, which is, of course, our favorite geek fashion brand. And it has a new collection specifically for Clone Wars. So before we get into your amazing new book, we would really like to talk to you about the 10th anniversary Clone Wars collection. So, like, where did that inspiration for the collection come from?
Well, the inspiration, came from, celebrating the 10th anniversary. It was something I was literally like counting down the clock for. Pretty much started planning a year in advance. And I knew I had to honor the show with the 10th anniversary collection. I would say we started working on it about 9 months in advance. And the thing is I had no clue about Clone Wars coming back at the time. So
no way.
Yeah, it was a complete happy accident that the two just coincided. I had to just laugh when I realized that we were going to make the announcement about Clone Wars at Comic-Con, and basically our collection at Comic-Con was Clone Wars, because I was like, people are going to think we did this on purpose, and it totally was not on purpose.
No, we did. We all thought it was on purpose, like it was a planned out thing. So, okay then.
Yeah, and you even had the picture with all the voice actors with wearing your Clone Wars collection. So when did that take place, that photo shoot?
It took place actually like right before Comic-Con. So we all knew that the show was coming back at that point. But, the funny thing is when I first started designing the collection, like I said, almost 9 months ago, I had told the cast about it. I was like, hey, I'm designing this anniversary collection. I would be honored if you guys would model it for me. Let's get together. It could be like our 10-year anniversary meetup. Not even knowing that we would, be together again in the studio. So it really, really has been a dream come true.
That is so awesome.
Oh, well, okay. So you were working on the clothing line. When did you finally find out that Clone Wars was coming back? I mean, you said 9 months ago you were working on this, so it had to be not that long ago.
I found out in January. So it was, just this year. It was a shock. I have to tell you, I've been talking all year about, believing in the impossible, yet this was one impossible thing that I did not think was possible. So, when I heard that the show was coming back, I couldn't believe it. I actually didn't hear from Dave Filoni at first, and so I didn't believe it. I thought, like, okay, I am not going to believe this is true until I literally hear it from Dave Filoni's mouth. So when I found out from him that it was true, I couldn't believe it.
That's awesome. I am kind of curious, just because we all know how Dave is. I was so curious about how that conversation went down. Like what he told you. Did he just outright say it, or did he have like some sort of like fancy way of getting around to it and being, well, by the way?
No, it was actually quite unfortunate because he wanted to tell me, but they needed to book a session with us. And so it just so happened that I got the call from my agent first. And so it was my agent who first told me. And, I didn't believe it. Like, it was just like, there's no way. And so I called up Dave Filoni and I said, is there something you need to tell me? And he's like, why? And I was like, no, really, is there something you need to tell me? And then he realized what I was talking about. And I told him about the call that I just received. And he was like, oh, no. He's like, that's how you heard? He's like, that's not how I wanted it. I didn't care because it was just one of those things where I was just so elated and shocked that it was true. I was just, again, just giddy and shocked. I still am. Can you tell I can't find my words?
Well, okay, so your reaction kind of sounds like the reaction from the fans, except they did hear it from Dave Filoni, so, we kind of believed it at that point. But did you expect that reaction from the fans?
I had hoped for that reaction from the fans. And I thought that we would get a reaction like that only if we were able to keep the secret, which was very, very hard. It was truly such a hard secret to keep. I mean, we've had to keep secrets before. In the beginning, I had to keep the secret of being the voice of Ahsoka for 2 years. So, keeping secrets is nothing new, but this secret was the hardest of all to keep because I knew how big of a deal it was. And I knew that the fans loved Clone Wars, just as much as we do. And so I knew that if we were able to surprise everyone, that people would be shocked and, that the roof would probably blow off of the convention center, which it practically did. It was surreal to be in that room.
Definitely. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, speaking of being in that room, there is a picture that has gone around since San Diego Comic-Con of Matt Lanter quite literally freaking out and standing up and like screaming, and your face is you have a huge smile on your face, almost like you're shocked at what he's doing, but at the same time expecting it. What was that like?
Is that the one where I have my hands over my mouth and I'm
crying? I think so.
Okay. Yeah, I was actually crying right there. I was like crying like uncontrollably, and I was covering my face because it was one of those ugly cries. Even though it was a happy cry, it was an ugly cry. So yeah, I was just it was like half covering my face, half like not even caring, what I look like because I was just so excited and happy. But yeah, I mean, what you saw was like pure just joy from both of us.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. So if you can tell us, but it sounds like you guys have probably already started recording, what was it like coming back together as a cast to actually be doing Clone Wars?
It really is surreal, and it feels like such a gift. I think that's the thing, like I keep saying, is it really is a gift because, our last session for Clone Wars, we didn't know it was our last session. So we never had that closure, and we never had that chance to say goodbye, and really kind of let go and, say like, okay, this is our last session, it's ending. So, there was always that moment of like, you just wish you had one more time. And I was so grateful, so grateful to have Rebels. And, I got to work with Dee Bradley Baker and Matt Lanter again. And, obviously the Rebels cast, and it was so special. But, I always saw the Rebels cast like as a cast. And I always had those moments of like, man, what I would give to just like get the Clone Wars cast back together for one last hurrah. And I just never thought it would happen. So, to be able to record together again for Clone Wars with the same cast, it's a gift. And it's something we're truly, truly grateful for.
I can believe that. And, you guys, I mean, all of you have gone on to voice really awesome stuff. And you yourself, I mean, you've turned this simple voice acting job as Ahsoka into like a whole business. And I mean, we appreciate it. I mean, this podcast would not exist without HerUniverse.
Totally. Year of the Fangirl.
Yes.
All Year of the Fangirl.
Thank you. Well, I don't know. Do you guys remember? I feel like kind of the seed of it. It was my birthday one year, and I promised this Google Hangout.
Oh,
and
I remember.
Yeah, it was like an online birthday celebration, and I am not technical. Like, I don't know what I was thinking that I could somehow pull off a Google Hangout on my own. And 2 nights before, after I'd already been like publicly like promoting this Google Hangout, I realized that I could not make this work. And so I called Jimmy Mack and Jason, and I said, look, I know this sounds crazy, but you guys know how to do, a podcast. Is there any way you can host this podcast for me? But it's kind of like this girl-centric thing. And they were like, well, what the heck? Let's do it. And I remember we had so much fun, and you guys were amazing. And I just remember it kind of growing from there. And I have to tell you how happy it makes me that you guys have just grown this community over the years. It makes me like just so happy. So thank you for like just growing your the community like you have.
Oh, well, thank you. It's funny you bring that up. I remember that specifically because I was living in Tampa at the time, and I can see that podcast playing in my living room. It was at night when I was listening to it, and I was just on my couch, just completely sucked into the whole thing. And it's a very vivid memory for me. So it's like, thank you for that.
Oh, well, thank you. I feel like it was the start. It was an accident and a mistake, but it's oftentimes, or honestly, on my part, it was a failure. We talk about it as a flat out failure on my part, but you learn from your mistakes and your failures, and oftentimes it happens for a reason, and something good comes out of it. And I feel like Fangirls Going Rogue and what you guys have created, look what it's turned into. It's just amazing.
Oh, gonna make me cry. But you're talking about your failures, and I know you have your book now. It's Your Universe, which really what I love about it is it kind of tells your story about how you failed and kept going and, got rejections and how you achieved several dreams. But it's also meant to show, young girls or boys and all of us old ones how to follow our dreams too. So I think let's transition over to It's Your Universe. And can you tell us a little about how this book came about?
Well, it's funny. I just left a school today, an elementary school, where I had the opportunity to talk with a bunch of librarians and teachers and parents about a school book fair. About the book and talking about dreams and making dreams come true and failures and everything you were just asking about. And it's really for that reason that I wrote the book, is to kind of pay it forward. I feel like I have none of this if it weren't for the world of Disney and the Star Wars universe and my parents too, teaching me how to dream it and do it. And, I share my story, but to me, I never wanted, this book was never meant to, just be my autobiography or to share my story. I only share my story as like an example to say, okay, here's what I did. And here's why I believed I could. And here's how you can do it too.
Right.
So that was the book I wanted to write. I wanted to write an advice book and an inspirational book on, like how to make your dreams come true, because somebody taught me, and I just wanted to help pay it forward and share the knowledge that had been given to me.
Yeah, and the book is amazing. We've talked about it a lot on the show, and especially I've talked about it on Star Wars Bookworms as well, and telling people they actually need to go get it because of like the way the cover feels to the artwork on the inside and the space that you can write in. Although I can't write in a book because I was brought up where you don't write in your books. So I have to write in a separate journal for the book because it's a complicated mess. But the book is so amazing. And also it's my favorite colors. So that makes it even better. Teal and purple teal and purple are my two favorite colors of all time.
The Forces of Destiny colors with the orange in there too. It's amazing. Instagram colors. Woohoo.
Well, thank you so much. I have to say, the cover and all of the art with the book, I actually worked with my good friend Ashley Taylor. So we collaborated on especially the cover and the look and feel of that. So much credit goes to Disney for just the feel of the book and the quality. And really just guiding me, because I have to say the fact that this book exists means that anything is possible, because I said I would never, ever write a book.
Yeah. And, I saw an interview with you. It might have been right at the beginning of the book tour when you were talking about the book and that you were afraid to put too much Disney and Star Wars in it. And they actually told you to put more.
They did. It was... it was very daunting in the beginning because they told me to share my story, and then they said, feel free to use whatever Disney examples you want.
Nice.
Examples, Disney characters, they're just like, have at it. But the world of Disney is massive. And so I actually got overwhelmed, and I didn't quite believe them. That I could really that the world of Disney was my sandbox. And so I kind of played it a little safe and wrote mostly just my story. And she came back and she was just like, Ashley, I had an amazing editor. Her name was Laura Hopper. And she came back and she's like, Ashley, how often do you have Disney telling you the world is your oyster? Like, add more Disney. You have our permission. And, she goes, I know you want to, because I had shared with them how much I love Disney and how much these characters meant to me. She goes, I've heard you talk about it over and over again. She's like, you have our permission, add it to your book. And so after, she really kind of opened my eyes, I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I can add this story and this story and this character. And I'm still kicking myself as I, go back and think of things like I'm just, literally the fact that I don't have more in there about Ratatouille and, other things. I'm like, nice. That's such a miss.
Yeah, but you know what? You had Moana in there, and I was so grateful because Moana is my girl because everybody calls me Moana.
Aww.
So, I mean, no, I'm not of Pacific Islander descent at all. I'm Mexican, but I look like her, I guess. So when Moana showed up in the book, I was like, yes!
See, and for me, it's all about Rapunzel with glasses.
Yes, yeah. When Ashley Taylor, because I kind of, we met for dinner, and I explained to her what my mission was for the book and what my hope was for the doodles and the artwork. And then I just handed her the manuscript and I said, look, just read it. And I want you to, if you are if I was Lizzie McGuire and you were the artist, like drawing, what was going on in my head, what would that look like on paper? And she came back with a ton of doodles. And we already have that type of relationship. Like, she just knows how to draw what's in my head anyway. But she came back with Rapunzel with Rapunzel colored glasses. Like,
oh, wow. So that was one of her first doodles too?
Yes. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, the attention to detail that she paid to the book, and just, there's all sorts of hidden little things that relate to the book that, would only make sense in the book. It wouldn't make sense outside of the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, no, totally. And so you did this huge, giant book tour, which I was personally very concerned about your health and making sure you were eating the entire time. I was like, please eat, please sleep.
Oh my goodness. I will say I had the best of intentions of making my travel make sense, like going throughout the nation kind of in order. And then it just kept on not working out that way, and like growing legs and like going all over the nation, but not in order.
No, I know you were in California, then back in Florida, and then in New York, and then back in California, then back in New York. I was like, what are you doing, crazy girl?
It was crazy, and not meant to be that crazy. But no, I actually had the opposite problem. I did eat. I didn't really sleep. That was sorely missed. But I did eat, and too much, because when you're on a 2-month book tour, pretty much like 6 weeks solid, but I still had a couple of events there, kind of for 2 months, it felt like a perpetual vacation.
Right.
And so, when you're in the Mall of America and you're walking next to Dairy Queen, of course you need Dairy Queen after you had already had 2 donuts that day from Tim Hortons, because why wouldn't you need Dairy Queen after 2 donuts? And that was like my day every day. So I did eat, but I reverted like back to all my favorite childhood foods and comfort foods. So now I need to be like strict and eat better and healthy.
I hear you. Well, high five from across the way with my chicken and salad.
Yeah, me on the other hand, and Ashley, I know you've spent some time in Texas, but I don't know if you've ever been to a Sonic. She's eating a chicken with salad, and I'm eating Sonic burgers and mozzarella sticks. So
what? Not tater tots?
I had tater tots too.
Oh, okay.
It's all good. Don't worry. Got it covered.
I approve of both. I love my salads, but there's always a place for Sonic. I especially love the slushies.
Yes.
Or the limeades. I'm a huge fan. Oftentimes we'll just go to Sonic just to get a slush or a limeade.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like going to Dairy Queen just to go get a Blizzard, which I do.
Oh, of course. Well, who wouldn't?
Well, speaking of your book tour, what is something that sticks out the most about the tour?
I think the thing that sticks out the most truly is just the fans and the people and meeting everyone. And I was beyond humbled by everyone's, just kind words and letters and gifts and just everyone's time. There's just no words to it. Like, it's not something that you ever take for granted or get tired of. Like, it's still, I show up at every signing thinking nobody's going to show up.
Aww.
So, well, seriously, every single signing, I'm like, geez, nobody's going to come. And so when I show up and I see everyone there, there's always that moment of just awe, like, wow, like everyone is so kind. Like, this is amazing. And then I mean, just all the letters that I got were just so humbling, and I have them all, and I'm still trying to figure out how can I express my gratitude and thanks. And I'm still having a hard time, because I feel like even though I got to see people in person, I I want to express my gratitude in a bigger way, and I don't even know how to thank everyone enough.
Oh, you know what's awesome about your signings is that it's like a little reunion. Because when I went to the one at Downtown Disney, like there was no less than 4 girls that I knew, and we all got together. We took an Instagram little video together. We're like, so you bring people together, Ashley. So that's your thanks.
That to me, when I hear that, that means that like we're doing the job, because HerUniverse to me, more importantly than a merchandise line, is a community. And that's what I've wanted from day one, is that HerUniverse is a community. Like I truly, it doesn't matter to me if you ever come and buy anything. The merchandise is more of a means to flaunt your world, to feel comfortable, to say like, hey, this is what I love and I'm a part of this community. But what's more important to me is that, people feel that they can show up at a signing and meet new friends or see people they know or start podcasts like you guys did. Like that is what HerUniverse is to me.
Yeah. And at the signing in Dallas, I met some new people, which was really cool. And that was all in all really awesome. But I think my favorite part was you actually getting to meet my mom, because she'd been dying to meet you for a long time. So that was really, really great. And just the whole thing, I really like how Box Lunch did it. And so I think overall it was a success. And you got to meet my co-host in Atlanta for Galactic Fashion, Christy Morris.
Yes.
And I felt like such a dum-dum because I'd forgotten to bring you the cupcake ice tray, but she did. So I made her go to the store, and I was like, you have to go get these because I forgot to give it to Ashley.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, no, I actually have it. Wait, is it right next to me? I seriously, I have it. Like, okay, no, it's not right next to me. My apartment is a mess right now. But I've had it out. I keep it out because I want to make ice cubes with it.
Well, you can do ice cubes. You can also make chocolate like little chocolate cupcakes. You can use it as a chocolate mold.
I think chocolate sounds way more exciting than ice cube.
Okay. Well, you know what? We have one more serious question before we get into some geek out questions. And one of those things is, do you think you'd ever write another book?
I would love to. And I am, nothing is solidified, but I am talking with some more people, within Disney about potentially writing another one. So, like I said, nothing solidified, nothing, in the works just yet, but definitely some discussions, because it kind of becomes, once you do one, it kind of becomes this itch that you just want to scratch again. And I have to say, I've talked about it a few times. And I like to give credit where credit's due. When I first got the opportunity to write the book, I told Disney, I said, okay, well, this is amazing, but there's one problem. I can't write it because I didn't believe that I could. And they said, oh, no, don't worry about that. We'll give you an author. We'll pair you with an author, and you can just talk to her and she'll write it. And, but it'll be your words and your story. And so they suggested this amazing author. Her name is Stacey Kravitz, and she's written several books. I highly recommend, her other books. And we worked together for 2 months, and, she helped me with what I realized was my stumbling block, which, or my brick wall, I say, is I didn't believe I could, because I didn't know how to structure a book. Like I didn't know how to actually put my thoughts into a chapter outline. So once she did that, she listened to me for 2 months, and she goes, Ashley, she's like, this is what you're trying to say. So if this is what you're basically breaking, dreams down into steps. So she's like, here are the steps that I'm hearing you say. And then she delivered the manuscript, and it was great if it was Stacey's book, but it wasn't in my voice. And I knew that if I was going to say that this was my book, it had to be in my voice. And so I literally had 5 days before I had to turn in the first draft, and I legitimately locked myself in my apartment. I know I've talked about this a lot, but I joked. I literally did. I went to the grocery store. I got Lucky Charms, Oreos, and Chef Boyardee ravioli, and locked myself in my apartment and wrote straight for 5 days, and just wrote in the way that I talked. It was crazy because it was something I said I could never do. And when you kind of don't give yourself a choice and you just say, you know what, I'm going to do this, and who the heck knows how it's going to turn out, but I'm going to give it a try. And so now that I've done one, it's like, wow, okay, I can do this. And so let's do it again.
That's awesome. All right. So now we just want to know some things from you as a fan. All right. I'm sure you've heard these terms before, but what is your opinion on Chimera?
Oh, yes. I'm totally for it, obviously. But it's funny because I know Vanessa and Freddie.
It's a little different for you.
And also Sarah. So it's kind of hard for me because, first of all, Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. are two of the nicest people and total couple goals, and just like, have two of the sweetest kids. They're just truly, truly lovely. And so to me, it's Freddie and Sarah. And, Vanessa is just so lovely and so amazing and like so kick butt. And I see Hera, like, in Vanessa, but I just see her as this like strong kick butt character. I don't necessarily see Hera as like a love story. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it
Definitely.
makes sense. But as we know, they do have a child. So
Yeah, I guess I'll be honest. I really hadn't thought of it until you asked me the question.
Okay, so this'll throw you off base. What do you think of Hot Callus?
Again,
have you heard about it?
oh no, I have. It's so funny. I mean, I did look at him when everyone started calling him Hot Callus, and I was just like, huh, okay, yeah. I guess you could say he's hot. But I haven't really put much thought into it. So yeah.
We like to bug Dave about Hot Callus.
Yes.
I think the bigger question, if you're going to bug Dave about Hot Callus, is, I mean, how about Anakin in Forces of Destiny?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got some wavy hair and like big old luscious lips. I'm
Yeah,
like,
he
where did
does.
those come from?
It's true. It's true. Okay, Porgs or Ewoks?
I gotta go with Ewoks because I was an Ewok girl. I grew up with Ewoks. I loved Ewoks. Still do. But, Porgs are a very close second. I love me some Porgs.
Nice. All right. Which Doctor is your favorite Doctor?
Ooh. Well, that one's a tough one because I have a feeling that Jodie Whittaker is going to become my new favorite Doctor. Matt Smith was my first Doctor. That's when I first started watching Doctor Who. So I would say he's been my favorite because he was my first. But after meeting Jodie Whittaker at San Diego Comic-Con at the fashion show, like, she's everything and more. Like, everything you want her to be and then more. And Chris Chibnall is the same way. Like, he's everything you want him to be and then even more. And so I just have a feeling that they're going to do such amazing things with, their iteration of Doctor Who. And I'm so ready for it. Like, I'm counting down the days.
Me too. I actually think she's going to be my favorite. Eccleston is actually my favorite. He was my first Doctor.
Cool.
So, I'm kind of in between. And then also here in Austin at Wizard World, Peter Capaldi and David Tennant are both going to be there. So I'm just like, oh gosh. Okay. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, well, okay. So what is your current binge watch TV show?
2 actually. I just finished Stranger Things, which I was totally
did you like it?
Loved it. Like loved it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Awesome.
guys like?
Yes, we loved it too.
Yeah, us too. We did a whole podcast about it.
Yep.
I mean, seriously, I don't know why it took me so long to watch it. I just didn't have time when it first came out. And then when season 2 came out, I was like, oh, I got to watch season 1, first. And so finally, David and I, we watched it together. And actually, my husband wants to be 11 for Halloween. And he wants me to be, oh gosh, I just finished watching it. So why am I blanking? The curly hair kid. No.
Dustin?
Yeah. Yeah. David wants me to be Dustin and him be 11. I'm like, what?
Nice.
But I think more he just wants to be 11, so he doesn't want me to claim 11. And then that was his favorite character in Stranger Things.
Well, he could pull it off pretty well, I think.
He could pull off 11, I think.
Well, I think also because he basically has like a buzz cut. So
yeah, exactly.
For it. But I am almost done with Broadchurch. Like after I met, Jodie and Chris Chibnall, I had heard how amazing she was in Broadchurch. And so I just started streaming that, and it's incredible. It's so good.
Yeah, I haven't watched that yet. It's on my list, but I haven't watched it just yet.
No.
Okay, what fandom that you don't have a license for with HerUniverse is your favorite?
Well, I mean, I would really, really love to do a Harry Potter collection.
Yes, thank
Yay.
you. Yes,
please do
and
it.
Trisha's not here for us to rag on her.
I'm again, and I blame my mom. I joke with her all the time. She didn't let me read Harry Potter when it first came out because she believed all the hype that it was about witchcraft. And, I was like the perfect Harry Potter age. And, she's like, oh, no, you can't read that. Well, of course, then when people realized that it was amazing and it was totally safe to read and not, not bad at all, I was already, in high school and going off to college. And, I kind of missed that time. I was so focused on school. And so my sisters read it and they're obsessed, obsessed, especially my youngest sister is just beyond obsessed. And so I'm just getting into it now. And so I feel like I'm like a kid, discovering it for the first time. I just sorted myself and I was like, oh my God,
yes.
what does this mean?
What house are you?
What are you?
I guess I'm Ravenclaw.
Oh,
that's good. Okay, so I'm a Hufflepuff.
And I'm a Gryffindor.
Okay.
We're all in different houses. Oh.
Yeah, I literally sorted myself late at night, which was a mistake because then I couldn't call anyone. And I got Ravenclaw and I was like, oh my gosh, what does this mean about myself? I need to know what type of people are Ravenclaws? Is this good? And I couldn't call my sister until the next day. And Taylor, you have to tell me all about myself.
Being a Ravenclaw is good. There's a lot of awesome people in Ravenclaw. So
that's what she said. Her favorite character is Luna Lovegood. So
yes.
She was like, you're like Luna.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so I want to ask this one because I'm just so curious because me and my husband have things. So do you and David have any fandoms you share in and geek out and get nerdy about?
Fandoms? Well...
Or just anything. I mean, other than baseball, obviously.
Yeah. My husband, he's not a massive fan really of anything. I mean, he obviously of sports he is. So, he loves baseball, football. He loves wrestling. I'm not
WWE?
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah, he's a big wrestling fan. So you two would get along great. I watch it with him sometimes, but I just can't get into it. So that's I would say his fandom. We both love Disney, but he loves Disney more because I love it. It's not like he'd be going to Disney all the time without me.
Right.
But he does enjoy watching, we just watched Stranger Things together and he really enjoyed it. We watched Battlestar Galactica together, and he really enjoyed it. So he wouldn't do it if it weren't for me, but he enjoys it.
Okay.
No, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Greg and I are like that too. His thing is James Bond. He's
Really?
he's a huge Bond fan.
And
Yeah.
can you not get into that, or?
No, I can watch
Okay.
it. I just don't need to watch them over and over. I would
Right.
rather watch the Aristocats 10 times in a row.
Yeah, see, and my husband is like all into Planet of the Apes, and I just can't get into that one.
Oh.
So we all have our things, I guess.
Yeah, we all do.
All right. Well, now, do you have just a little more time to talk a little bit about HerUniverse and some collections?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. So, we've noticed, like, we love HerUniverse clothing, and like half our closets are HerUniverse, and there's just been so many new collections lately. It's hard to keep up ourselves. So how do you keep track of what's coming out?
Well, I say in the book, it takes teamwork to make the dream work, and we have a great team. So it's not just me. There's a bunch of people that that work on HerUniverse and bring it to life and make it happen. It's exciting, and it's exciting when you work on something for so long to see it come to fruition and come out. So I'm trying to think. No, we do. Oh, we do have some stuff coming up. I can tease one of them.
Okay.
I've always wanted to design for Mary Poppins, and there is a coming out. So you might be getting a Mary Poppins collection for the holidays.
Oh my God, Sarah.
What?
Sarah, we're going to die.
Okay. Have you heard about this moment? So we were in
Ashley,
DCA.
I've never heard of this, but me and Trisha and Sarah were all together at California Adventure. I'll prep it, Sarah. They were walking by the store. I forget the name of the store, but it's the one that's right there on the corner as you turn left off of the main street.
Yeah.
And we turn and we see this window, and then Sarah does this.
In the window was the Mary Poppins dress that's currently at the dress shop, and I went, "Oh my God, Assoka!" And I like ran up to it. I was like, "Oh my God, I want it!" Anyway, but I like freaked out, and they were both like, "What is happening?"
Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? I feel like you've shared with me that you like Mary Poppins, which I feel like we all do. It's such a classic, but I had forgotten until now. That's so exciting. I think you're gonna love it because it's a mix of movie and classic, and there's even some for the young girls, and I collaborated a bit with Ashley Taylor, and so there's some really cool things. So
That's awesome. So Sarah and I have the same birthday, and it was right around our birthdays that collection came out, and she got all the pieces, and so we both have the penguin purse, the round penguin purse from the dress shop.
That's so cool that you have the same birthday and that like the universe brought you together. What day is it?
We're March 10th.
Okay. Oh, well, cool.
Yay.
Did you just have your half birthday?
Oh, September 10th.
Yeah, we did. September
Absolutely.
10th was our half birthday. Hey, look at that.
I used to always celebrate my half birthday.
So your half birthday was in March. So there you go.
Yeah. Yep.
How cool. Okay, so I am really curious. Where did the ideas for the Venom collection and Tomb Raider come from?
So, my again, going back to wanting HerUniverse to be a community, from day one, my goal was always to cater to all different types of fans and fandoms. We did Walking Dead for a while, which, some people felt like it was such a departure for us, but I'm like, no, there's a lot of people in our community that like Walking Dead. I mean, I did lose track the past couple seasons, but I was a huge Walking Dead fan. And so to me, it's important that we cater to everyone. And there were several people in Hot Topic that were so excited for Venom. And so I was just, especially, with us starting to do some HerUniverse pieces, I said, well, this would, totally make sense to be HerUniverse and our universe. And at first people looked at me like, what? are you serious? That this doesn't feel like it's HerUniverse at all. And I was like, no, it's actually quite the opposite. To me, it's catering to, all of our fans. And, not everyone likes, Disney, Star Wars, and Doctor Who and Studio Ghibli. Like we can do other things outside of, just kind of like my core loves. And part of the reason that we've only done, Star Wars and kind of Disney and certain things in Marvel and Doctor Who and Studio Ghibli is because I'm a huge fangirl of those properties. And, I would only ever design for something, from a fan's point of view. And if I wasn't a fan of it, I truly felt like I couldn't do the property justice. Now that, we're a part of Hot Topic, there's pretty much a fan for like every different fandom in the office. And so there's a bunch of Venom fans at Hot Topic, and then Tomb Raider. It was a dream of mine to get into gaming. Like I've been wanting to do that for years. Even before we joined Hot Topic, I was in talks with, certain video game companies, but ultimately at the end of the day, it didn't work out. And I was very intimidated and overwhelmed because I just felt like I wouldn't be able to properly do these games the justice that they deserve. And it with Hannah Kent, it literally happened by chance. We were talking with Tomb Raider, and I finally felt confident that we could do it because there's several gamer girls, in the office. But still, I didn't feel comfortable designing the line because I didn't know Tomb Raider super well. And I happened to pass by Hannah Kent at Comic-Con, like in the hallway of the hotel. She had just wrapped up the fashion show collection. She had just designed the Wonder Woman collection. And she said, Ashley, she's like, I'd really love to design another collection for HerUniverse if I ever, would have the opportunity again. She goes, especially gaming. She's like, if you ever wanted to get into gaming, I'm a big gamer fan. She's like, I actually cosplay as Lara Croft. And I couldn't believe it. It was like serendipitous because I told her, I was like, Hannah, I can't believe this. We're like just talking to Square Enix now about Tomb Raider. And, I don't know the property as well. Like, and if you do and you'd be willing to design it, I think I could make that happen. And so sure enough, that's literally how it happened, by a chance meeting in the hallway. And next thing you know, she designed that whole collection for us.
That's awesome.
Wow.
I don't really know Tomb Raider either that much. I mean, I know what it is, obviously, but I think that the collection looks really great considering all I really know is imagery, so I'm like, wow, that looks like Tomb Raider.
It's like kick butt kind of a collection, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'll definitely let her know that you said that. I think she did a wonderful job. Of course, the hard part, and it's like with any, entertainment property where they say, it hits, it didn't make the cut, or it's on the editing room floor. The collection was twice the size that she designed. And, there's only so many slots that you have for a collection and for retail. And so, there was even several more pieces that if you're a Tomb Raider fan, you would want. And, but I still think that we ended up with a well-rounded collection, that represented, Lara Croft throughout the years.
So we know you probably can't say some stuff, but I am curious. Are there any new licenses coming to HerUniverse anytime soon? You don't have to tell us what they are. You can if you want to.
I will say we're doing a bit more in gaming.
Yay!
We have some other gaming properties that we'll be announcing soon.
Ooh, well, you said Square Enix, so now I'm thinking Kingdom Hearts, but maybe not.
It's actually not that. But it's a different studio. That's all I can say.
That was such a cute dance. Have you been learning that from Dave Filoni?
Yes, definitely, for years. But definitely coming soon. I will say we're not heavily going into gaming just yet. I'm hoping to do more. So hopefully between these couple of properties, we can we can prove that there's more of a market in gaming, which we already know as fans, but there's really, it's kind of new for fangirl fashion and gaming. So as with anything, you have to prove sales.
Yep.
And so I'm hoping that, we continue to prove sales so we can do more gaming. So I would say that, and then, just the opportunity to do more with Disney, because Disney's so massive. Like, we're getting to design, with Mary Poppins for the first time. So there's more Disney properties that we're designing, for and with that, it's truly a dream come true.
Yeah, that's really cool. I would just like to say that a Winnie the Pooh collection is welcome.
Yes. I hope so. I hope so. It's not in the works. I can't tell you that.
No,
but
I want a HerUniverse like red Pooh shirt.
Oh,
that would be
like
so
a crop top.
I mean, sure.
Interesting. Oh my god.
I'd have to wear high-waisted pants, but
right.
Yeah. Me too. My crop top days were over.
Yeah.
Me three.
But I will look into that because, hey, that might be possible.
Nice. Well, you had today you just announced an It's Your Universe collection of t-shirts with artwork, and I know Teresa. Do you want them all?
I do. I want all of them. I specifically want the Brave one, and I really had hoped there was a Moana one, but there's not. But it's cool. It's whatever. I'll buy the other 4.
Oh, we were supposed to do the Moana one, and I don't remember what happened. So I would say maybe there's a chance that it'll come out, because Ashley Taylor's artwork in the book is so fantastic, and I would love that Moana art on a shirt. I think that literally sometimes the problems behind the scenes, I think it might have been like too many colors in the print.
Yeah.
The t-shirt, like sometimes things get cut for the weirdest of reasons, but yeah, those the shirts are great. They're obviously anything with Ashley's art is just incredible. So I would say they are more limited edition. So for people that have their eye on them, I can't guarantee that they'll be reordered, because that's kind of just the general theme now that we're going with. Is it's there's so many collections back to back. So if you see something, I would definitely get it, because there's no guarantee it's going to come back.
Whoa.
So what you're saying is I need to replay this for my husband so that he knows that I have to buy these shirts right now.
And then tell my husband that I need a pre-order of all the Mary Poppins items for my Christmas present.
Yeah. See, now we have it, Sarah. We have what we need.
Okay.
Thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome. Please apologize to your husband.
No.
I appreciate you, Teresa, always asking me size advice. I will say I prefer going up one size in those shirts. I have smalls, but they like fit. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I always know what size I need to order, because you and I wear like the same sizes. So if you want a medium, then I need a medium.
Well, but I like a medium because it's a bit loose.
Yep, me too.
So if you want it fitted, get a small. But if you want it like a bit roomy, then
so if you want to show off the girls, get a small.
Yeah.
Okay, Sarah. That's Sarah's thing.
I like to be a bit more comfortable.
I got it. Okay.
So I do know that the Doctor Who collection that was at San Diego Comic-Con really hasn't fully released yet, and I need to know why.
Wait,
the
which
Doctor
one, the
Who
Disney
one
or the?
No, the Doctor Who one.
Oh, it's coming so soon.
Okay.
like truly any day, and I'm not giving you a day because I don't know it off the top of my head. There was, as with any new movie or season, and without going too much in the weeds, but pretty much all studios do this. They give you a date of when you can start selling something prior to a release of a movie or show. And so we actually got special permission to release the outfit early, just at Comic-Con only. So it's coming soon with the launch of the new season. and lots of pieces, actually, not just her costume, but we have several new Doctor Who pieces with, featuring the number 13 and, kind of the cool rainbow stripe. So look for some really fun pieces at Hot Topic, Box Lunch, and Torrid.
I'm so excited. Okay, so I have to ask you about the solo collection because, Ashley, I know you already know this, but it was my total jam. And I own every single piece, by the way, now.
Oh, gosh.
Because my mom knew I loved it so much, she made sure I had every single piece of it.
Oh, my gosh.
So, okay, I need to know, where did the retro style inspiration come from? And I just need to know more because I love it.
It came from Lucasfilm, actually. So we have, what they call creative downloads. So we go several months, in advance, and they share the style guide with us, and they share bits and pieces from the films and, their style guides and kind of inspiration. And we get to see a lot of concept art. And so they had used the words, and it was actually on another graphic in the style guide that we didn't use. We created our own graphic, but they kept on using the words the Kessel Crew, like in relation to Han and Lando and Kira and Chewie, that they were the crew, and they were the Kessel Crew. So that really stuck with me. And with that same art, they had like this retro rainbow stripe in the style guide. And so we brought back the phrase, the Kessel Crew, and then we brought back that retro rainbow stripe, and it just kind of evolved from there. And so we kind of went back to the early days, and that's where the 70s vibe came from. And, really we were kind of feeling what we call the color palette of kind of the retro angle. And it kind of had two themes. It was, if you were kind of going to a 70s festival, what would you wear? And then there was also the sporty, if you were, part of the Kessel Crew, what would your suit look like? Like, if you had a matching tracksuit, what would it look like with your team or your crew? So that was our backstory. That was our theme. And I'm so glad you liked it.
The jeans are my favorite jeans ever of all time.
Oh, good. Did you have to get them hemmed, or do you just wear really tall shoes?
I wear like, what am I wearing with them? Oh, I'm wearing my Clark's clogs or my Dansko clogs because they have a platform.
Oh, perfect.
I probably am going to get them hemmed so that I can wear them with Converse.
Yes.
But the waist and everything, like, they fit me like a glove. I put them on because I had to order them online, and I put them on and I'm like, oh my goodness. Because I've worn flare jeans since I was little. So it was perfect. Oh my God.
Good. Oh, well, that makes me so happy. And I'll share that with our fit team because Hot Topic actually makes amazing jeans. Like, people don't realize that, but the fit for the jeans are really, really good. So anytime, they have non-licensed jeans, that are really great. But anytime that we do a, licensed jean, I would definitely recommend it because I love the fit. And our team works really hard on it. Really, really hard.
Wow, that makes me want to try on some jeans now. Okay, so we have one last question for you, and it's kind of your personal taste, because I know, Teresa, you loved the Solo collection. I loved the Wonder Woman collection. I have almost every piece of that one. But with all these new collections that have come out, which one, Ashley, is your favorite? Your current favorite, I should say.
Ooh. Oh, that's so tough. Well, the Clone Wars collection is probably my current favorite just because of the meaning behind it and the emotional connection to it. So I'm currently living in those Clone Wars pieces as much as humanly possible. And even like the guys' pieces, like the Anakin Skywalker pullover is like hands down the most comfortable sweatshirt you could ever put on your body.
What size do you wear in that one?
That definitely is small.
Okay.
Because the guys' pieces are sized, well, they're unisex, but they're sized, in guy sizing. So do not go up in that unless you want it to be big. So definitely love the Clone Wars collection, but I also love to get to design for the dress shop. It's just such a fun project to work on, and I get to collaborate with Ashley Taylor a lot on that, and so to see a beautiful dress just come to life, you must feel like a Disney princess when you put it on, and they're good twirl dresses. You can get a good twirl out of them.
I agree. I love the Mary Poppins dress.
Yes. Yeah. Dress shop just does such an amazing job.
All right. Well, we want to thank you so much, Ashley, for coming on the show and joining our slumber party here.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I had the best time.
Awesome. And I know this is kind of redundant because most people who listen know, but where can people find you on social media?
Oh, no, it's all good. I appreciate you guys always asking and plugging. We're just at HerUniverse, at HerUniverse on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and then heruniverse.com. And hopefully soon I will even have a personal account, even though HerUniverse has been my personal account. I don't have it set up yet, but as you've probably seen, I have a bunch of nieces and nephews, and I go to Disney a lot. And so I don't always spam HerUniverse with me riding Slinky Dog with my nephew.
Yeah, but you are. See, this is why you need a personal account so that we can see you with your family. And I want to see pictures of you and David at baseball games and other stuff.
Yes, so I hopefully soon. I don't have it set up yet, but I'll share with you as soon as I have it, a personal account where I will share a bit more of that stuff, because I have it, but I don't always. I'm like, I don't think I can post photos of my nephew, even though I want to.
Oh,
so, but thank you so much for having me, and I mean, thank you, girls, for just being such amazing examples of fangirls and just being so wonderful for the community. I just really, really appreciate your friendship and continued support.
Absolutely.
yeah, likewise.
All right, Young Cubs. Well, thank you for listening to this episode. In between shows, you can visit us over at fangirlsgoingrogue.com. On Facebook, we are at Facebook. That is Twitter. That is not Facebook.
No.
You cannot find us on Facebook at FG Going Rogue, in case you were trying. It doesn't work.
But you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at FG Going Rogue.
Can. You sure can. You can find Trisha at Fangirl Cantina. I am at Ice Cold Penguin. Sarah is at Jedi Tink. And Sandra is at Geek Chic 9.
You can also email us. We are contact@fangirlsgoingrogue.com. And we have our Facebook page, Fangirls Going Rogue, as well as our Facebook group, where I bet people are going to be talking about this episode. So if you want to join that, you can go search Facebook for Fangirls Going Rogue group. You can request to join and then answer the questions that pop up, because if you don't answer the questions, we don't let you in. Also, you can reach us via voicemail. We are 331-21-EWOKS.
And please, please go to iTunes or whatever you are listening to us on and leave a positive 5-star review. We need your reviews so more people find us and can join in this awesome fangirl community.
Woohoo! So, until next time, da-da-da-da-da, yub,
Yub.
yub.
You don't need me to say this is a Fangirls Going Rogue priority transmission, do you?
No.
Or don't we have that soundbite somewhere?
We do have it somewhere.
Okay. Or do you want me to do it?
Just do it anyway.
Okay. We will. I will.
Okay.
I will. Hey, Cubs, and welcome to a Fangirls Going Rogue
Sorry.
Blah, blah, blah.
Beep, beep. I didn't hear your
Beep,
first
beep.
part. It was cutting out.
Oh my God, why? Oh, you know what? It's raining really bad outside.
Okay.
Maybe. Well, let's get into it.
Okay.
Well,
so-
welcome. Wait,
Sorry.
Sarah.
I'm sorry.
The hard part about over the internet when you can't see people.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to shut up and Teresa, you go.
Okay.
Bye.